Well, we're at our new Petaluma property. There you see Rick Keith making business deals happen. Say hello to the camera. And here we go, brewing beer. Right now we're steeping our grains. We've got all of our setup ready to go for the rest of the process. Yes, we are not just winemakers. We do enjoy a good beer, and so give you a little bit of the process as we go along, but it's going to be a fun day. So here we've got a quick shot just inside of our kettle. We're steeping our grains, like I said. Basically, we're kind of tea-bagging some of our grains to create this nice little sugar tea, and eventually we're going to add our malts and our hops to this and bring it to a nice rolling. We've had a few beers. I mean, we're still brewing beer. Got our kettle right here down below. We steeped our grains. Now we boiled our hops and our malt. Got a really good, nice, viscous, kind of like deliciousness. And we're gonna rapidly cool it down to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're gonna pitch in our yeast and start our primary fermentation. I'm not really totally positive on beer making. It's kind of just like a first time kind of fly by the seat of my pants kind of situation. Basically, we're going to do what we call primary fermentation, which is going to be like 4 days of the vigorous cycle. And then as soon as that vigorous kind of like kick-ass part of the fermentation happens, we're going to rack it off of any lees and sediment that kind of accumulates at the bottom and continue fermenting. So it's just really the same fermentation, but it's more for clarity and cleanliness of the flavors. Here we are, last part of the process. We've basically boiled our hops and malt for a good 2 hours. Now we're rapidly chilled it back down to about 70 degrees. At about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, we pitched in our yeast, which is for a German kind of amber beer. There you see our 5-gallon carboy, and we're going to fill it at about halfway. Get our second one right there, so we're going to make about 2.5, 3-gallon carboys out of this, and eventually it's going to turn into about 6 gallons of wine, or beer. God, beer, wine, whatever. But anyway, give you a little close-up. There it is. Got the tractor running in the background. Rick Keith doing God knows what with the heater there.
All right, good morning. It's May the 10th, back in Petaluma with our beer making project, and so it's been about 4 days. We're gonna rack the primary part of the beer fermentation down to a secondary fermenter, and we're gonna finish it off for about another 10 days. And then in 10 days we'll bottle and do a few more things. So I'm going to give you a little quick shot of the fermenters. You'll see the colors really darkened up, but also you get to see a good view of the sediment and lees.
Right, so here we have our fermenters, just 2 5-gallon carboys. You see how dark the beer has turned. It is a German amber, and then you get a good look at the sediment and lees build up. And so that's what we're going to rack it off of. And so after the secondary fermentation, even more of that's going to form. And when we rack off that to go to bottling, we're going to clarify basically one more time. So it's almost a filtering process. So here we're racking our beer keg, our beer carboy, into our secondary fermenter. And all right, so here you see the remains, the sediment, the lees. All right down there. Same thing over here. Not a good shot, whatever. Basically, if we wanted to start a second batch of beer, we could actually use these lees and this sediment as our yeast start up our culture for this beer, or the next beer. So, here's our secondary fermentation lot. I have just racked those 2 carboys into this one container. Got about 5.25 gallons in this. After about 10 days, we'll rack off any sediment and lees from this fermenter into our bottling unit, and our bottling unit will then be primed with a little bit of sugar as it goes into the bottle, and that way it'll ferment a 3rd time in the bottle, giving it really just its carbonation.